Hey traders, Raghee here. In this video, we're going to address a very simple question. With today's sell-off, where do we look? Why do we need to be specific? And why we need to stop talking about the markets and be very specific about the symbol that we're trading. And that's a habit that I'm trying to make sure I kick from 2020. All right, a lot of leftover habits from 2020 or even 2021 got crushed in 2022. I'm very optimistic about 2023 because we're learning a lot about ourselves, about what works, about the market behavior in stocks versus treasuries versus currencies, right? So let's jump into what the market means. I know a lot of folks mean the S&P usually when we're talking about the market or just generally stocks. But the fact of the matter is right now, the relative performance is in the Dow futures. Now, whether you trade the Dow futures, whether you trade the micro, maybe you trade the DIA, especially when we're talking about overnight positions. This is where the Dow is where the strength is at, which means we also get pointed in the right direction as far as which sectors are more resilient. Healthcare, extremely resilient. Gang, Dow is by the dip. Healthcare is by the dip. Financials lost their footing, and financials are no longer by the dip, but financials are where we pull up a slow stochastic, we take a look at the neutral market and start asking ourselves, where is the oversold support? So we're bullish, but we're playing oversold chop, not by the dip. Structure dictates strategy, right? Industrials, by the dip. Transportation, IYT. This is also more like financials. Do I want to be bullish? Yes, but I'm looking for an oversold buy. The components within the Dow are generally stronger and more focused. There's only 30 stocks in the Dow. While financials and healthcare influence the S&P, so too does Apple and Microsoft and the XLK in a higher, more disproportionate manner. Right? Okay. By the way, XLK, this could be similar to XLF. So what do we know right now? We know we want to buy the dip in the Dow. Maybe that's DIA calls. Maybe that's micro YM or the mini YM. We know we want to buy the dip in healthcare. In fact, the strongest part of the Dow is healthcare. When you're a futures trader, here's a cool thing. If healthcare is where the relative performance is, this is how you crack open healthcare. Look at the top 11 stocks. They're going to be the ones that are going to move with healthcare in the clearest and cleanest way. This is prioritizing the relative outperforming sector, and then we prioritize the relative outperforming stocks. But I think futures traders are really well positioned to understand this because we're thinking top down. This is the same way that I teach traders in the Sector Secrets Mastery. We might go YM to DIA with an emphasis on XLV a little bit more quickly, but it's still a top-down approach, okay? So Dow looks great. All right, what else looks great? Let's talk about ZB, the long bond. Does today undo the uptrend in the long bond? Gang, my day traders know this. So if you're day trading with me in the futures room or in the Sector Secrets Mastery room, which we do 5 days a week, right? That really should have been more bullish to equities. It sure is bullish for the long bond, which means that yields are moving lower. Movement higher in ZB, this would include TLT, right? Moving higher means yields are moving lower, and that generally is bullish for equities. So I'm still pretty darn bullish equities in this environment. So ZB, here's TLT. This is buy the dip, gang, straight up buy the dip. What else do I want to buy the dip in? Well, a lot of folks are asking me, Ron, what about the dollar? The easiest way for futures traders, really any kind of trader, to access the dollar in a liquid 24-hour way is the 6E futures. So 6E futures, if you're day trading 6E, day trade the Z contract until the end of this week, then we're going to move out to H. So December now, March as of next week for day trading. But if you're looking for a buy the dip, it's going to be the 6EH23. Now, if you're a little bit more inclined to trade the ETF alternative, it's going to be long calls on the dip in 6E or hang on, I don't want to lose y'all here, but listen, UUP puts. So here's how it works. This is fantastic, and they're liquid. 6E is very liquid. Pull back, buy the March contract of the 6E as close to the 200 propulsion as you can. But if this makes you uncomfortable, if you're thinking, Rog, I'm not sure about overnight Euro futures positions. If we have an at-the-money call that's liquid in FXE, great, buy the call. However, UUP, the US dollar ETF, is extremely liquid and liquid across more strikes than FXE is. So when you would think, okay, long 6E futures or buying calls at FXE, you can think instead of long puts in the UUP. Look at this gorgeous downtrend. All right. So this is what I'm focusing on. Be specific to the symbol. Let's not think about the markets, because in the situation that we're in right now, certain corners of the market, right? Stocks, currencies, treasuries, energies, metals are stronger than others. We'll talk about metals in the premium video. Gold is up, silver's up, copper is finally getting the memo. There's a lot to like. That opens the door, gang, to ETFs like SLX, XME, and GDX. So very exciting to be a top-down, futures-oriented trader who understands some macroeconomics, which is to say, yields are moving lower. That should be bullish overall for equities. So let's not think all is lost because there's a big down day today. We had the European Central Bank. So we did have a major central bank influencing some of the psychology. Let's think about where the pullbacks are actionable and make sure we differentiate between green by the dip and choppy oversold buys. Hope this helps. If you have any questions or symbols you're curious about, leave them in the comments below, gang. I do check them. Me and my team here do check them. So feel free to leave a comment. Thanks as always for smashing the like button, and I will see you in the next update. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.